DL is an abbreviation that typically means down low, which is another way to say that something is secret or on a need-to-know basis. In certain situations, down low is a slang term that refers to a person who is publicly straight but secretly gay.
The number one biggest sign that your man is DL, and I know this because I've talked to them, I've experienced multiple of them, and I've talked to them and I've gotten inside their little heads. They all consistently treated women like trash. They were all terrible to women. Serial cheaters. They're always on some other girl's Instagram. They take a long ass time to text you back. Dude, it's because they're busy texting a dude. Like, I think one of them told me that he literally didn't like any of the women that he dated, and he kind of just pretended to like them. And not just like them, like, they like actively disliked them. Like, they didn't like them. That's so crazy to me that you could be with someone that you dislike. Like, they didn't like them. They hated them. So yeah, it's the dudes that treat you like garbage. It's because they're giving princess treatment to another dude. So.
DL Muslim men, people don't talk about them a lot, but I strongly believe a Muslim man who always talk about full wife, secret wife, you can marry, you know, like I could go get a secret second. That man is DL. You cannot change my mind. Is a DL. Not like, oh, I'm too lusty man and I'm gonna go get my secret wife and lust on her and then the wife and you know, خلاص, he's not attracted. Oh, another secret woman. Man, you gotta download. Trust me. If the list is not going, I promise you, there is something wrong down there and you need to go get help. DL.
If he's mean to you, if he's rude to you, if he's nasty, if he has a sassy attitude, if he cheats on you multiple times with multiple women, if he has multiple babies' mothers, any more than 2, 3 for sure, if he has told you multiple times that every situation in his life that didn't work out with a woman was because there was something wrong with the woman, reverse it, okay? If he is a very, very, and I mean very sharp dresser. I'm talking about beyond the norm, okay? If he likes loud colors, if he always has to have all the attention when he gets into a space, and if he gets disappointed because you get more attention than him, if he tries to devalue you, if he tries to embarrass you in front of people, if he shows up somewhere with you and then disappears, if he belongs to a secret society, one in particular, if he calls all of his boys his brothers, if he gossips like a woman. I'll be back with more. But if any of those things are present in your guy, he's DL.
A down low man is the meanest man that you will ever meet 8 times out of 10. There's that 2% that don't cause a problem, but usually down low men are so angry and they are a threat to women, whether trans, women who are, not trans, or, just feminine gay men, because they want somebody to beat up on. They hate the fact that they can't live in their truth. So when they see somebody living in their truth, not only do they lust for them, they want to attack them. That is a problem. And these men need to be held accountable for this shit. It's 2024. Ain't nobody gonna look at you sideways because you gay. But stop beating up on these women and harming these trans women and, women who are born women, and stop beating up on these, these feminine gay boys just because you're not happy with how you are. Live in your truth.
I just saw a video on TikTok and this lady was basically saying that DL men are not providers. 100% correct. The DL men I've seen, like, as I've grown up, there's always something happening in the finance area, the finance department, whether they're like completely broke and they just refuse to work, they just refuse to like make their own money, or they are committing some type of fraud, anything but getting like a real job and pursuing like a real career. It has to be quick, like instant money that they don't have to work for. They also end up with women or pursue women or just tolerate women who pursue them, who they know are going to like foot the bill. Like they know she's going to be taking care of like the utilities and the rent when he can. And then he's going to condition her to get used to that because he plans on being that way for the entire duration of their relationship. I thought about Tim and Akira. Like when he was with Akira, she was like working overtime to like take care of everything and waiting for him to just have this moment where he was going to be the man to start providing. If that man has not started providing when you were already with him, he's not going to magically just begin to become a provider later. If he has spent years with you and he has not been providing for you, making sure that you're financially good, he's not going to magically just start doing that once he does get money. That's something that he has to implement when he first meets you. And if he's not doing it when he first meets you, he's not ever going to do it because he never had plans or intentions to do that. Or he just was never really wholly a man that did that. And then the ones who do have money, they be stingy with their money. Like they have money, but they don't want to give it to you. And then when they do have to give you money, they be irritated or they want you to pay them back. Like they give you $20 and they be like, I'm gonna need you to pay me back. They are not generous. And they are very nitpicky when it comes to money. Like if you're with a man that's DL and he so happens to have money, like he's calculating every expense. Not tracking it because he's responsible and he just wants to keep track of his books. But he's calculating like how much you're gonna have to pay him back. Or he's gonna weigh it over your head like you just cost me $100. You just cost me $50. And he's gonna constantly remind you of what he paid for pertaining to you. But he has no issue spending a boatload of money on himself or investing his money in something for himself. The sky's the limit when it comes to him, but when it comes to women in his life or the children in his life, he has an issue spending money on them. And he always tries to get that money back from them in some way. Or he will constantly remind them that you owe them money. Or they will just constantly make you aware of how they feel about having to spend money on you. They will complain. And if a man is complaining about spending money on you, child, get far away from him. Especially if he's not investing a whole lot of money in you. Get away from him. DL men are really comfortable being with women who are ambitious because they know that those women are going to make a lot of money. And they know they want to be taken care of. And they know that she can sustain herself. So him being in her life, he knows that she's not really going to put pressure on him to give her money because she got her own. Or that's what they think. That's why when you see a lot of men out here who are bums, they try to find women who are successful and like woo them and manipulate them because they're trying to leech onto their lifestyle without having to invest in that lifestyle. They are trying to live off you. And they'll give you false hope like, oh, one day I'm going to be this, I'm going to be making all this money. They're going to sell you all these dreams about what they going to do just to keep you complacent, to keep you stagnant so you can just keep giving them money. Just keep giving me your money. One day it's going to pay off. One day DL men will have babies they cannot afford. They're not thinking about money. They will birth babies into really messed up situations. A woman will be like, oh, we shouldn't have any more kids. I don't think we can afford it. And then they'll be like, what? Money is not something that crosses their mind because they're not providers. Like they're not. And let's just say, let's use Nick Cannon, for example. Even if he got money and he popping out all these babies that he can't afford, he still cannot provide other things for them and doesn't plan to. Like, yeah, I'm gonna just throw them a little bit of bread, but I'm not gonna provide the other stuff. Like they're not providers, not even just financially, but in other ways. And they always end up with women who want them more than they want her because they need her to be extremely invested so she won't leave and so that they can be comfortable. Which is why I tell women, if he's not a provider when you meet him, he's not generous, he's not responsible, he's not invested in you emotionally, financially, leave him alone. Leave him alone. Cut your losses. Because if he fits anything that I just said, you need to be questioning his sexuality. He may be playing for the other team. And I just made a video it was either earlier this year where I was saying being abstinent and completely cold turkey from any sexual activity for 5 years shows you just how DL a lot of these men are. Even if they're not actually out here sleeping with other men or being in relationships with other men, their mindset is DL, not that of a heterosexual male. And a lot of successful women will have a scarcity mindset and they will end up settling for a man who is lower, doesn't have as much money, doesn't have as many resources, all because they want a baby, all because they're ready to get married. But whole time that man pursued them or put himself in proximity to her for a reason, because he wanted to live off her, because he ain't a man. A real man would not feel comfortable living off you. He would not feel comfortable being with you and not having no money. He would find a way to get some money so that he could spend time with you. Also, a lot of these DL men don't want to take you nowhere. They just want you to stay in the house with them and do nothing. Not even because they're just an introvert, but because they don't want to spend money on you. I'm telling y'all, it's something with DL men and money. They are not providers. And men who are heterosexual males that want to be with women and women only know that in order to have a woman, you have to have money. They know that. I can't have the woman I want if I don't have the money. And a man who is broke is angry. Okay, a man with no money is angry, even if they are being broke by choice. Even if he's DL and he's willingly not working, he's doing all this stuff because he's DL, he's still going to have the same response as a man who's heterosexual who don't have money. He's going to be mad. He's going to be angry and he's gonna resent that he has to live off you. They say men are logical, but they're like, it makes no sense. It makes no sense for a man to be DL and then do everything to be DL and pursue a certain type of woman so he can live off her, and then resent the same woman he's leeching off of because she has money and he doesn't. And then realizes he doesn't have money, and now he's angry, and now he's being verbally abusive, physically abusive, being difficult around the house. There's nothing logical about that. But when a man don't have no money, he's already aggressive and angry. His mind ain't right. He not even in a good mood. And then I knew this one guy who was DL, and he would like do stuff, but he would only do things when people forced him to do it. But women were always giving things to him. He was never giving things to women. He wasn't about his money for real, and he would always be hanging out with his friends, not in his bag, not focused on his responsibilities. And this man had children, as in plural. And both the women he had children by were providers. Whew.
You see a man that's always angry with a woman and he don't like women and he's always saying something negative about a woman. Why is that?
Maybe because he's hurt?
No. Yeah, he's hurt because he can't walk in his truth. He's hurt because really he want to lay down with his homeboy, but for the world he has to be with a woman. It's clear as day. I see it happen all the time. There's no reason why a man should always be upset with a woman. What it is a lot of men struggle with their sexuality. What it is a lot of men can't walk in their truth. What it is a lot of men have to deal with women for their family's sake, for business, for image. But when a man is constantly aggressive and mean and evil and beating on a woman, on that list of demons that he's fighting is sexuality.
Shout out to the Passport Bro team. Shout out to the 5B movement team. Shout out to the Red Pills team. Shout out to the Drizzle team. Shout out to the Incel team. Shout out to the Women Are This. Shout out to the 50-50. Shout out to the What Do You Bring to the Table. Shout out to Because of Women. Is because of women. Women are this. Women are that. Submissive women. Shout out to the men who say I want a virgin women. Oh, da 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 da. Shout out to those who say, why do women don't look like my mother? Why do women don't look like my great mother? Shout out to you. Shout out to you.